Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together this penguin explosion box, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. So once we go ahead and take the lid off, we can go ahead and we can see that we have some places to put a gift card or a tag. And it also comes with this printable Merry Christmas tag and a blank tag. So here are the pieces. So we have the lid with the scarf panels. Then we have the face pieces. We have the head. So this is similar to the snowman explosion box. So I will be showing you the video for this snowman explosion box, but I'll put this together. The optional inside gift box, it doesn't have a lid, it's just open to be glued like that. The inside, so I didn't put one of the panels in to show you how to put it on, but all the other panels are on, other than the center one, but I'll explain that. Then we have the two little sleeves with the tag, with an optional panel for the tag. And this is the back, that's for the beak. And this is the front of the body, that. And then the inside panels. And then we have a bunch of little pieces too, which are the presents, the pieces for the presents. I put a lot of them together already just to make it a little easier. So what I want to show you first is to piece together the presents. So I'm only going to show you one. So each one has these three pieces, like that. So we're actually going to do the big box, and then the little presents. We need the presents for the big box. So let's put that just up here out of sight for a minute. And the other ones are in here. So I kept them in here so I don't lose them. And we also have an optional print and cut tag, and little arms and the top of the head and the hair. So that's all in there. So just to put them together, you can see how it's put together here. We'll put this one. So this goes on top of this piece. And just make sure you line it up on with the circular scalloped shaped up there. Then you can go ahead and place it right here. So I would say just go ahead and add glue right on this piece. I am using art glitter glue, if you're wondering. There's always information, usually in the product description or the video. And I actually print and cut this with digital paper, so if you're curious about that, we do have some videos for print and cut using Cricut and Silhouette. So there's those three. So we're going to go ahead and also add this front body panel. So there's little cut lines in here so that you can't see them. But if you look at it, your piece that you cut out, there'll be cut line here, 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 and here. Because it's black, it's hard to see. So that's just gonna help us line this up like that. So the larger part's on the bottom. The front of the penguin. We're gonna go ahead and find the feet and the arms. So there's the arm, one arm. So we have the small present. There's two big presents. Those will go inside the explosion box. So I'm going to put those aside and take the small one. So let me just, you want to just place them dry to see how you like them first. But basically it's like this. This has a little bit, I don't know if anybody has problem cutting black, but sometimes it's a little bit more filled with fibers than any other color for whatever reason. I think it's the dye or how they dye it. This is because it's an American Crafts cardstock, but it's always the same. Or I just use like a little piece of sandpaper to get the excess off. So this is like a little sanding block that I have for scrapbooking. So I want to place it like this, like it's holding. One thing you want to be clear of, not to go beyond these, because this is where the box will go over. So you want to make sure it's inside, and you really don't want to pop dot it up there because you need the lid to go on. So just to be aware of that. So I'm going to go ahead and place the present first. Kind of center it here. I think I'll do the feet next. So it's up to you. I just kind of went like this direction. I'm just making sure that my textured side is up. And I kept it flat because it's you know, it's going to explode out, so we need to make sure that happens easily. And then I'll glue it in the same place on the other side, so I'm just going to eyeball it. Just making sure. Just lining up that bottom edge of this to bottom panel. Then we want it to look like it's holding it. So again, just be careful up here. Try to keep it inside the edges so it'll explode okay. You could pop dot part of it if you wanted to, for those that are into that. I mean, I do like doing that. Don't get me wrong. So you could put anything too. You could put your own tag there instead of a present. It said Merry Christmas or whatever you normally put, or cheers, or a gift for you, or anything. I don't know. I can't normally think of all these words. So that's the front of the body. So that's all ready to go when we need to add it. So let's go ahead and put that there. Get the big box. And I like to put these on this part, but they can go anywhere, or you don't have to use them at all. You can always cut out additional ones like this. And these are all centered. If you wanted those on the side, I don't add them to the, I don't have any panels on the outside other than the front, this one, because I kept it black all the way around for the penguin, obviously. So, but if you wanted to add outside panels, you could always duplicate a couple of these and put them on the outside. So that's up to you too. So this is all a flexible type of design. You can use whatever you like, but I wanted to give you some elements to add. So this will go like this. That came up. It's one I already previously glued, so that'll center in there. And then we have these optional sleeves that you can use on one side or the other, so they can fit a gift card. Or this little optional tag. You could use it without this and put a sentiment, or you could use it with this and put an embellishment or a picture or something like that. You could do it in both. So there's some flexibility. Or you could use some of the we have a different tab, a slightly different, or tag, in the snowman explosion box if you have that as well. And we also, the sleeve is a little bit more rounded in that one. So they're meant to be kind of a mix and match combination. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put together the sleeve really quick. So I printed digital paper, but something went off, so the back has print on it. So So this one has the print inside, which kind of looks cool. So you can see how you can variate that. So I'm just going to fold that over. If it looks good, I don't waste it even if it's kind of a mistake. So I'm folding this over on the back. I like to save paper whenever I can. If it looks okay, then I go with it. If I didn't like the look, if it didn't go with it, I wouldn't use it. But I could always reprint it. So to get this effect, you could always, for printed paper, you can always print one side and then turn it over, print the other side in a printer, and then you'd have an inside pattern like that, inside pattern. And of course, you could always just cut a piece on the back and just put it in too. That's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these, this, all these, and then one of these on each side like this. And I'm going to put this down a little bit further so the gift card will fit in it. So I have a little pseudo gift card, kind of a fake gift card here, and you can see if you have a credit card or anything like that, you can see where you need to place it so it doesn't go above that edge. So I'll let you watch me put that on, and then we'll go to the next step. You can see I got it all in place with the sleeves, and then I added the optional panel, so you could again add a little picture. You could use this for a picture, but if you wanted to put a sentiment on it or you could stamp it, you would want to not put this panel on, or just put the stamp on this on a different like little panel. So I'm going to stick that in. And then we have this optional printable tag, and there's another one with a different shape with the snowman explosion box. So you could add that to one of them. So I'm going to do it on this one, assuming this would be like a gift card holder. Or if you wanted tags in both, you could put in cut out another tag and put it over there. So there's some flexibility with this. The other thing we want to do is I like to train the folds a little bit so it'll open a little bit easier. So I like to loosen it by folding it a little bit more. So to do that, so when it opens, it'll fall a little bit more. And if you add more to it, so if there's some weight to it, it helps it to fall a little bit easier. So I want to put the front right there. So we're going to go ahead and put it right here. You just want to line up that bottom to the bottom edge and then the top. So you could start at the top. So this will line up with this right here. So the best place to add the glue, so if we're going to put it on here like this, we want to go ahead and put the glue on this, because this has rounded areas beyond that. You don't want to get glue on the back side of this unnecessarily. So we're going to go ahead and line that up. so it gets it in place. So you could use this as an explosion box without that front panel, and obviously you could still use those panels. So this is a flexible design. Just like that. Make sure we got everything on here. But everything is optional, just the way you want it to look. So just training this fold a little bit. So let's go ahead and do the inside one, which will go like this. So I have mittens. So let me go ahead and move this aside for now. And I've put them all on. Basically, I've already done these 3 mittens and the panels. And again, you want to train the folds. So if you cut it, most likely your, what do you call it, texture will be on the outside. So I had it kind of backwards on my mat. So if you wanted it to go, have the texture on the inside, then you would flip your paper upside down. So that's always an option. So it's all these options, right? Always. But just by default, it would be fine the other way. So just to piece these together, you just put that little piece on top of the other. It's narrower at the bottom, so it should fit right in. If it doesn't fit, then you have it the wrong way. You have to flip it over. So that's just piecing that together. This will fit exactly right there. So you just want to fit it in that area. I had to reprint something, but I didn't want to waste the paper, as you saw earlier. So somehow I was using the silhouette to do print and cut, and it went all weird. So I just flipped it over. So match it up with the thumb, and you can flip it over to make sure it's lined up. And then this panel goes right here, and you see there's a slight edge around the sides and the bottom. So just center it. That's it. And then normally there'd be a center panel that you could use as optional, but I chose not to use it. So you'd add that if you wanted it. We're going to add the inner box, the inner gift box, which is really simple to put together, covers most of that center panel. So you can see it's up to you whether you want to put that on or not. So again, train the folds, make them a little looser by keeping folding them, so it will explode a little bit better when open. So you can continue to do that. And then this is optional, but it's just a little open gift box on this one. There's a closed one with the snowman. So I did each one a little bit different so you can mix and match. So we're going to go ahead and fold this down and then add glue on this tab. You're just going to fold it right over, and it should fold right into place, lining up with that tab fold. Then we can go ahead, and 2 ways to do it. If for some reason you want it to be removable, you might want to glue the tabs on the inside. But if you intend to glue it onto the actual panel right here, then I would suggest putting it in and gluing them to the bottoms, because that makes it a little bit sturdier. And in a way, it's easier to put together, I think, because you can reach in and, I mean, either way you can do it. It's just a matter of your preference. So I'm just folding them over. Then I'm just going to reach in with a wooden chopstick, if I can get my hands on it, and just apply pressure on all the tabs. If you could get your hand in there, you can do it. I have very short fingers, so it's a little bit of a challenge to get beyond this top part, because I made it tall. I wanted the box to be usable, not so small that you couldn't put things in it. This way you could put a little candy or something like that in it, which is nice. And then we'll go ahead and add glue to the bottom of this. I should have put this on that first, but that's okay. Actually, let's just do that real quick. That glue will dry, but that's okay. I don't want you to get messed up. So this is going to go diagonally like this. You want to make sure that it doesn't go over these folds. So place it and make sure none of these corners go over a fold. So kind of maneuver it, and you can test it before you glue it. And it's really easy to adjust anyways. So if I did this and I just moved it, I'm going to go diagonal. Oops. I'm going to gently kind of line up these two corners a little bit. And the nice part is, don't push hard yet. You can just make sure it's in, and then adjust it a little bit. There you go, like that. Yeah, the glue hasn't dried on this yet. Then once we get this down, go ahead and just place this. I'm just going to center it. So it could be a little bit bigger, but I made it with the little border around it. And again, you can apply pressure reaching in or like this. So that completes the bottom part. Just have to we'll carefully close it when we have a lid. As you can see, there's the bottom of the body. So next we're going to put together, I know it's out of, let's put this a little bit, I know it's out of, there you go, focus. So the next thing we're going to do is put together the head of the headpiece, which is this piece right here. So I'm going to show you, you're going to see a white one, which is the snowman. But I'm going to go ahead, it goes together exactly the same, but it'll be easier to see it with white rather than black. So this is the headpiece. And if you are working on the penguin, this is the same way. So the only difference is it's black. So this will be the top of the head, and then the bottom. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the short side first, so make sure you fold all the tabs, and then we'll do this side. We're going to add glue to these tabs and just add them to both of these. And we want to start at this piece, and then we'll line up so we're lining that edge up right here, and then applying pressure on the inside, and then folding this. So make sure you pre-fold this, fold it in, and then line up this edge to the tab fold, just like that. So we're going to do that on both sides and on the other side as well. So you just want to make sure it's good and dry before you move on, and you can always do this too. That's the nice part about it before it's closed. So you could do this side. It doesn't really matter which order you go in. It's just a matter of how it will be to reach in. So let's do this one right here. Fortunately, if it's large enough, it's just if you size it down, it might be a little hard to reach in. So I'm just running my finger along that edge to make sure that it's lined up. I'm just going to move it around because I'm very right-handed, and so I can reach in with my right hand. And just rotate it. Make sure you don't put too much glue like I did. And just making sure I'm getting it nice and connected towards the top too, so there's a minimal gap, if any. Just make sure your glue coverage is good. And then we'll do these other two sides. So if you're not used to doing this, it can be a little bit of a challenge at first, but once you get it, it's kind of the fun thing about making 3D items. Kind of fold that in gently. And I made this a little bit simpler so if somebody wanted to make multiple ones, they didn't have to deal with the round. So I could have made it a round head, but I selected not to because I wanted this to be a little bit more accessible to people that were newer to putting together 3D designs versus those that do it all the time. And sometimes I do make that decision. I have a couple, of course people are most familiar with the truck, vintage truck at this point. And that does take time. It's not hard, but just trying to simplify the steps so you have fun putting together and get the results you want. But I don't necessarily want to do a project to make like that every month, unfortunately. It takes a long time to prep those. So once we get all those edges glued in, just make sure they're nice and secure. We're just going to fold those in and go like this. So this goes together the same way for the snowman box and snowman explosion box and the penguin explosion box. So you can see I'm kind of lining this up. Just gently rub. Because it's hollow, we can't get in there to get it set. So you may be watching this on the snowman video or the penguin. So just make sure you get those edges lined up and do a light rubbing around them just to make sure it doesn't pop up. So there's the head. So we have the black version here. So it's the same. So the face will go on this. So we want to prep this, so we're going to layer the face so that we want to go like this. That'll go behind that. And then the little eyes. And that'll line up like that. As you can see, that'll line up to the bottom here, that white part. And then the top of this edge. So the top of this, and then the bottom. So you have that little black showing through. And then right here, over the same thing. Okay? So you could really layer these two together if you wanted. If you wanted, you could lightly ink the inside of this so it accents it a little bit better, the edges. But for this one, I'm not going to do that. I did that with the snowman. So if you're curious what I did, you can go look at the snowman explosion box video. So I'm just going to put together these two white ones first. Slightly different than I did the other one. So those line up. We're going to line up the nose and the bottom part and the top. So all the edges, and that opening should be the same for the beak. And then the eyes, it goes slightly over those circles right there. Very slight. So for the beak, we're going to take this little piece and put it like right there. Oops. So you could just do this. I'm making sure that I have the texture side showing up. Well, that's not going to show, so that's okay. Like that. Then we can go like this, and just make sure it's towards the bottom edge here, so it looks like you can see that little part of that black beak. So you just want to lightly put it on here around the openings. Don't get too close to any of the openings with the glue. Try to line it up to the top curve of the beak. once you have that in place, just make sure it's lined up to the bottom of this panel, the black panel. Just minor adjustments. And then if you want to add any eye accents, this would be the time to do it. I do like little white. This one I'm going to just do a white circle. But you could do a little curve just for the eye accent. And then it can dry until for a couple minutes here. So now this just goes, you see these little pieces? I already pieced it together, and this is just going to sit right in there on that area. So that'll fit there. So you could put it the glue right here. Since you don't know how far it goes this way, just be really careful. And you could always add glue to just a light glue on the inside, the place where you're not sure how far it's going to go. You just line it up. I'm just placing it on lightly first to get it in place. Probably shouldn't have done the eyes until after I was done with this, so I'm just being careful not to hit it. And if you wonder, this is a white jelly roll gel pen, and I like it for using as a white pen. You just have to get the feel for it. So I would just practice on a piece of cardstock or paper, because the texture is kind of hard to write with on these. So let that dry for a minute. So take this piece, and these are the have a little bit extra. It didn't cut very well here. These are the hair pieces. So the way we're going to do this is that there's a score here and a score here. Well, we want to score that. We want it to glue like this. So we're going to glue these. Take the opposites, put them together. I have it wrong, like that. And we're just going to glue these pieces together. So I'm on the non-textured side right now. Then we didn't glue the tabs at all because we need those tabs to glue onto the top piece. This is going to slot through on the top piece. So it really doesn't matter which way you put it in. It depends what you want the front to be, the back. So we're going to go ahead and slot this through. And I'm making sure that the texture side's on the top right here. Going to add glue to this side. Fold it down. I'm just making sure it's upright while I do that. And then we'll add glue to the other side. And this will go on top of the head piece that we put together. So you just need to make a decision what you want the front to be. So you might want to look at it, see which one looks best to you. There's a little bit of a gap in the back of this. So I might choose the front. And then just place it like that. So either way, see which way you like it better. So the way it's going to be is like this. Then this will go on the front, like that. So you can see that. So make sure you have it oriented properly before you put it on. So it's not facing like that. So it's facing towards us like that. Gotta get the right angle so you can see it. Fortunately, it's the front. I got a little glue on it, so we'll be covering that. So I'm just carefully rubbing on it, so because it's obviously hollow. And then the way we want to glue this on is this will be centered. So it'll be, the bottom will match up. It's the same exact length as the bottom of this head. And the top goes beyond it. Okay, so you want to match up that bottom piece right there. That's how you're going to start to get it aligned. So you just want to add glue to the box. I'm just going to get it aligned in the right place here. And you can see it goes beyond it on the back. So you just want to get that glued on. That's why we don't want to add glue to the back, because you need to make sure that it's not visible from the back. Then all you have to do is assemble the lid and add the head to the lid. So here's the lid. So the biggest thing is you can put these on first. So if I fold this, all these panels, which I embossed with a sweater embossing folder, didn't cut, my score lines didn't cut as deep as they normally do. Sounds like another blade is in order here. It's a telltale sign, but black's hard to cut anyway, so. All we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add these first, or we can do it after. If you feel they're a hindrance, I would do, so one of them, the front one's going to be like this. I have it opposite here. You can do it either way, but it's like this. So the front one is layered. If you don't want that to get in the way, you can wait to do that last. So the lid's really simple. Just like the gift box lid, we're just going to go ahead and fold these under. Fold everything, fold these tabs under, glue them to the adjacent sides. And just make sure you hold it long enough to adhere for each of the tabs, lining up that edge to the tab fold. So it's just a basic box top. And this is the same size and method for the Penguin explosion box too. So this will cover, if you're watching either or the snowman or the penguin explosion box, you're going to see this same portion because it's the same on both boxes. The only thing I always say with lids is that you always want to make sure that that you get it all adhere, hold them long enough so those tabs glue on well on the inside. So they're not pulling apart here. So really one of the simpler parts. You can go ahead and put that aside for the next step. So here's the lid with, I didn't layer this, so you can layer this on top. So you'll notice that they're straight at the top but slightly round on the bottom, so make sure you put them on correctly on the lid sides. They're all the same size other than this one with the scarf thing coming down. So if you can see, they're all rounded, the ones that are put on. So to put this last one, make sure you go ahead and piece this together. And then just glue this part. And you could add glue to this part too. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up. So this is how I put on the other ones as well. lines up to the round piece on the edge here. And get it all set here. So don't push that down because it has to, sometimes this camera drives me nuts. It was just out of focus for a minute. So we're going to go ahead and glue that, center that. So I just add glue to the bottom of it, but not too far on the edges here. So it's really important that you get this as close as possible in the first try, because you don't want to even move it around so you can see the glue. So just kind of center it on left and right, and I'm kind of looking at it from the side. And you can pull it forward a little bit more than backwards. It's up to you. It's just a preference. So once you get it in place, you want to hold it for a bit. And this is pretty much the last step, and I'll show you how it explodes. So if you did like this video or videos like this, please give me a little like on the video below and or subscribe to our channel. If you hit that little notification bell to the right, you'll be notified when we have new projects like this or tutorials. We do tutorials as well. So I have a little bit more distance on the back, but I really don't care. I could have centered it for... So we're going to go ahead and take this. I'm just going to be careful with this. Fold these in. So you'd add all your fun stuff inside. Kind of hold it like that, and it's nice because we have this kind of jutting out, so you can kind of hold it like that to hold it in place. And then slide this on. And you can see our little, there we go, our little penguin. So here's the finished penguin explosion box. And let's go ahead and make it explode. So go ahead and take it off, and there you go. So kind of fun, and a fun little extra, different kind of gift for Christmas. So I hope you like this project. Again, if you do, please give me a little like, or thumbs up I should say, and I thank you for watching.